next speaker, I think they're here in the room. I believe it's Dirgayuza Setiawan. Hello. He's the Director of Business Development and Portfolio Management at ID Food, and he'll be speaking about artisanal fishing here in Indonesia. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu. Blessings for all of you. As the moderator said, I'll be talking about artisanal fishing, in particular on how I envision artisanal fishing in Indonesia to reach net zero in 10 years' time. So as many of you already know, we produce around 8 million tons of captured fish every year in Indonesia. We are the second largest producer of captured fish in the world after China. And to do this, we depend on an ecosystem of 1.2 million fishermen. And many of these people, these fishers, they own their own small fishing boat. This is 5 GT or less, right? And as of last year, we have 500,000 registered fishing boats in Indonesia. But the official number of fishing boats is much smaller than the actual number of fishing boats out there, because many artisanal fishermen, they don't register their boats. Yeah, so I think on our last census, we actually have around 2 million small boats that people use in Indonesia to fish. To power these fishing boats, we use a lot of gasoline, and it's not sustainable. When we use this much gasoline, we produce around 3.5 million tons of CO2 per year, and this is directly associated with fishing efforts, right? And getting fuel for Indonesian fishermen is a big issue. We only have around 300 or 387 dedicated fuel stations for fishermen in Indonesia, and because of the small number of available refueling stations, many fishermen in Indonesia also resort to not so legal or illegal fuel stations in the middle of the sea and also near shore, right? And that also adds to the fuel cost that they have to pay in order for them to fish. So how do we see things going forward? As many of you already know, I'm part of ID Food. ID Food owns a company called Perikanan Indonesia, which is the state-owned fishing company. As a state-owned company, we have 2 mandates. One is to be profitable, but the other mandate is to empower the Indonesian population. And what we plan to do in the next few years is to electrify Indonesia's small fishing fleet, right? As a comparison, a gasoline-powered motor for a small boat like this would cost around $3,000 US. So this is by brands like Yamaha and stuff like that. You saw some pictures before. But then the fishermen have to pay a running cost for the fuel they buy. We have been working with a number of startups. Some of them will be here next week for the AIS forum and present this solution to 43 head of states who will be in Bali next week. And one of the startups that we're working with is called Azura. They created this electric motor called Manta. This is the 2nd generation electric motor that we're working with. Right now we are rolling this out to a small pilot of our partner Fisherman here in Bali and also in Bitung, but we want to scale this up to reach everyone, right? So an electric motor like this is 5,000 US dollars, including the battery set. And the fisherman can fish for 4 hours or can turn on the machine for 4 hours continuously on one battery pack and can recharge the battery pack overnight at home, right? So because most of the small boats, they don't do over 1 day of fishing. It's an overnight fishing effort, right? So they can go fish at night, they come back in the morning, and then they charge at home. So we are working with Indonesia's state-owned electricity company, PLN, also to electrify these fishing boats. We calculate that we need around 10 billion US dollars to electrify all of Indonesia's small fishing boat. And it's doable, right? People have to change their motor anyway, and we are also going to work with state-owned or private banks to help fishermen transition to this electric motor system. We understand that we still have a big challenge for the larger boats. We still don't have a solution for that, but that's why we're here. ID Food is here to hear what the best technologies around the world can bring to the table and how we can adopt those ready-made technologies and introduce them to the Indonesian ecosystem. So that's our effort. I think that's all from me. Then we can have a chat after this. Thank you.